Welcome everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. This is the weekly outlook for uh, December 12th to 17th. I'll be taking a look at all the currencies, futures, indices, stock indices, and giving you my analysis for the upcoming week. Hope everybody's doing well and are safe. And I'm going to start off this session with the US dollar. It's been on quite a tear, as you can see on the monthly chart here. I'm looking at it's quite the move from this low, and we're going straight up in the air right now. And previous support resistance area is right in line to where we are currently. So we could be seeing a little bit of a jam here before we continue this march to the upside. All right, so taking a look on the lower time frame, let's go to the weekly. And as you can see, again, we are marching up with lots of strength. And next area of resistance is right about here, and then the next one will be up here. So opportunity for this to continue for quite a ways, but of course you can expect pullbacks, before we get to that point. So coming up for this week, um, since we're sitting at a very crucial point, we could see a little bit of hesitation, but I'm kind of thinking that we should be able to go through that. So let's look on the daily, and on the daily, what I'm seeing overall, yes, we could see some, bounces off this resistance area here, and maybe a little bit of sideways, but eventually we will break to the upside. So for this week, we only have 5 candles to go. So maybe let's see something like that. That could again, we could just go up touching this level, and then we're back down again into the level. So some strength in the short term, at least for the week. So we'll see if it breaks through and continues, then great. But we could bounce from this area here. So that's the U.S. dollar. So lots of strength there going into this week. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. And we'll go to the monthly on that. And again, quite the move to the upside there on the monthly. Go to the weekly. Now we're on our way down. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're retracing this entire move to the upside. We're coming back down. We're coming back down into this area, and looks like we're very close to that. We could come down to the lower end of it as well. So on the daily time frame, you can see that indeed we still have further down. So any moves to the upside would be likely followed by further downside. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for this week. Any push to the upside would be opportunity to sell Bitcoin back down into the 40. We could come right back down into the low 40s here. Okay, so that's it might not happen all in this week, but that will be the trajectory for Bitcoin. Okay. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. Let me see if I can find gold on here. Gold is right there. Okay, so on the monthly gold, it's sitting at as you can see from over here, crucial point. So it's either going to break to the upside or break to the downside from here. I'm kind of seeing more of this kind of trajectory. We're already on that move down, so I'm not really looking to see this going up, but let's take a closer look and see if I'm correct or not. And on the weekly time frame, okay, so you can see that we are actually kind of going sideways. We've reached this area here. We're kind of in this channel, and we're going a little bit sideways to down. So further down for gold going into this week is what I would be looking at. And from here, I'm looking at something like choppiness in here to down. Okay, so we could hang in this area here for all week, or we could drop through eventually before the week is out. So that's kind of look at gold. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. Okay, we'll go to the monthly. So quite the push, pushing to new highs again on the for the monthly. You can see the monthly looks really strong. So going into this week, all I can see is continued strength to the upside. If I go to, I'm going to go drop down right to the hourly, and now you can see that since we breached this area, and now we've got this move. You know, we could go sideways for a little bit, but overall we're heading to the upside with strength in the S&P 500 futures. Okay, so that would also hold for the technology group, also pushing to new highs. You can see it's trying to push to those new highs. So if I drop down to the hourly on this, that's the kind of, again, the same type of trajectory and setup. We're pushing, we're right at resistance. We could chop sideways for a bit, but eventually we're going to break to the upside on that. Okay, the Russell 2000 is the mid cap stocks on the monthly. It too is bogged down in this very congested area up here. If we look on the weekly, you can see it much more clearer. So we've been inside this range. We did break a bit above it. Now we drop back in, and now it's trying to break to the upside. So is it going to do that? Is it going to follow suit with the other ones? More than likely. So right now, after this move to the downside, we could see a further drop one more time. That's totally possible. So it might be bucking the trend of the other ones and dropping down a little bit first, or this move could indeed be over at this point, and we're just heading back up again. So a small drop, and then we're on our way back up. That's totally possible. But if we breach this level coming down, then all bets are off, and we're going to drop back down into this low area here before we go again. All right, so that's what it's looking like on that. And if I drop to the hourly on that one, you can see the trajectory right now looking to go to push to the upside, but this could be short-lived and we could drop one more time back down. So be aware of that kind of situation. Okay, let's take a look at, we looked at Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Has Ethereum come out of its funk? We were inside of a side, we're still there. You can see that from last week. We're still sitting in that area. Didn't expect anything other than that we're going to stay in this area, and that's where we are still. Okay, let's take a look at Litecoin, and on the weekly, still heading down, and that's what I would be looking to pick up Litecoin when it comes back down below the 100, close to the 100 level. We're going to come back down more than likely into this area here. So it could be down to 120s or so, but continued pressure down for Litecoin. Let's take a look at Dash. Haven't looked at these for a while, so let's just see. That's also heading down. So there's a lot of pressure on the coins now to the downside. So opportunities to either sell or to pick up when prices drop lower. This one is also looking to go down into the 110 area as well, and lower. Okay, so opportunities to jump in and buy. Let's take a look at oil. Oil is right there. Okay, so on the weekly, we've had a pullback. Again, as expected, we had a pullback into this zone, and now we're looking to push back to the upside. So is that a real move to the upside, or is it just a fake out? It looks like a fake out more so. So get this push back up, but we could be all done up here, and then we're going to be heading back down again one more time. So I'm not ready to say yes, we're going to be breaking to the upside at this point. So I'll be watching that very carefully and be aware of being faked out on this. Looks like if I drop down to a lower time frame like the hourly, we'll see this playing out. Let me go to the 4-hour on this one. You'll see that even better. Okay, so on the 4-hour, what I'm seeing overall is this move, and we got this one little push left, and then all bets are off. We're coming back down. Okay, so something like that. All right, and we looked at the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar has strength. So if the U.S. dollar has strength, then Aussie and the euro and so forth should all be looking to the downside play to go to the downside, because the US dollar against, if the US dollar is going up, we're going to expect that for euro to be going down, Aussie to be going down. So here's on the weekly, Aussie has been going down. It's hit a support area. It's bouncing a little bit, but I think that will be short-lived, and we'll see continued pressure going into this week after first a little blip to the upside, but we'll see continued pressure as the week plays out, coming back down. So that will be the same for the euro and so on. So let's take a look at the Japanese yen for a change. Okay, so Japanese yen should be in tandem with the US dollar and should be pushing to the upside. So on the weekly, you can see we've hit a low, probably close to a support area. Yes, indeed. So there it is. And now we could be getting a bounce back to the upside, following along with the US dollar perhaps going into this week. So on the daily, trying to push to the upside, we could still see a little further drop first before it goes. We could see some, a drop back down first, and then a turnaround going back up again. So keep your eyes on the US dollar if you're playing the major pairs in the Forex market, and watch out for those the US major indices. They look very strong going into this week. Maybe the Santa Claus rally, as they call it, is going to take effect this week. So profitable trading to everyone. Be safe out there. We're done now. Thank you.